WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Japan and I'm with Nikka Days. Blended whiskey, 40% ABV. For us here in Europe, Le Maison de Whisky, the House of Whiskey in Paris, France, actually imports this. And this is brand new. I talked with one of the brand ambassadors at the Interwhisky 2018 in Frankfurt, and he gave me this sample. Interesting bottle. Boing! It looks like something Andy Warhol may have designed. Looks like something that really belongs on your shelf someplace as a bartender. And now I hope you can see the difference here just a little bit. This over here is so yellow, and this is brown. Now this is a Swedish whiskey. Don't worry about it. But this is so yellow. Everything about this is yellow. When I asked the distributor, hey, is there maybe some type of coloring in there? He just went, next question, please. Which I thought was a little bit of a shame. But this is actually sold as a slighted peated whiskey. It's very flowery. It's very flowery. Flowery. It's very light. And it's a mixture of grains and, as far as I know, I did see one site that was different, grains and single malt whiskey. Coffee grains, probably then from the Yochi distillery, and Miyagicho, single malt grain. So Mazataka Takasui actually was the grandfather of Japanese whiskey. His family belonged to a long tradition of sake distillation. They sent the son then to Scotland to study. He went to different places. Edinburgh studied, went to different distilleries. Springbank was one of them, did an internship. And he met even a lady and brought that Scottish girl back home. And he started working for, originally, which is very, very interesting, the company we call Suntory, and I'm going to actually compare this here with a single grain. It's from the Cheetah here from Suntory, and after some disagreements, Mazataka Takasua actually set off and founded his own distillery, Yochi, in 1934, and the second one we have is Miyagicho in 1969. So the reason I'm doing this, I could have taken the Hibiki Harmony, but this is now over here 70 some euros. The price has almost doubled within the last year, and that's not even the no age. That's the no age statement. And this is around 43 euros. This is around 40 euros. So I thought this was a fair comparison because there's a lot of grain in here. I really like the Cheetah. The Cheetah has a lot of first fill bourbon cask, has a little bit of wine finish in there, a white wine as well. And it's a very, very nice whiskey. It has a very, very pleasant spring type aroma and just a feature about it. Over here, Nikka Days. And the advertising, the marketing, they say East meets West and so on. And I'm just going to talk about the whiskey here. I actually like this more than I thought I was going to. There's something which was really unusual, or which really is unusual, is over here we have more of a Scottish Japanese moment. And over here we have more of an American bourbon Japanese moment. The first fill cask, that vanilla really shoots through here. There's a lot more of the bourbon influence on that single grain than over here. There's that woof, that little whiff, that little tint of peat in here, and that really does direct my attention more to a Highland whiskey, and it's very, very nice actually. As I said, 40%, 40 euros over here, so let's say about 45, maybe $48 in the States. Interesting. I don't know about beautiful, but interesting bottle. Very, very new. I think it's only on the European market at the moment. I'm sure they'll be sending it to the American market next year, 2019. And the thing I get is, that's really, really, I get this on some of my scotches as well. You know when you maybe pat the baby on the back and then it burps and it gets that little bit of that baby milk a little bit of that half-digested baby milk, that milk acidy moment. That's what I'm getting here as well. I get that on a lot of different scotches sometimes. That lactose acid. It's nice. It's not bad. I know every time someone says, I think even Scotch with Scotch Dummy says, yes, I think about this baby puke. And it's just like, no, don't call your whiskey baby puke. But if you actually compare the two, it's like, well, yes, it's not that bad. We'll taste this first, go over the Cheetah, and then come back to this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Tiny little bit of the peat. Now, Bart from the Scotch Test Dummies wouldn't even recognize there's peat in here. He'd go, what, peat? No, never, never, never. And of course there's peat in here. They even say it on the packaging. There's a light little peat moment, and it's there. I am highly sensitive to peat, and it doesn't bother me at all. It's actually, it's integrated well into the whole complex package that's offered here. And of course, Japanese perfection is one of the things Nikka can really do. Going over to the Cheetah, I really like this. I always like some good grains as well, by the way. Just today was the first time I actually realized why I like the Cheetah so much compared to some other things, because this really, really reminds me of a bourbon. You have those caramels, you even have a little bit of the pecans in there, you have a lot of the bourbon notes in here on top of or behind all that Japanese grain goodness that's going on. With the vanilla, a little bit of wine casks involved in here. It gives it a fruity, grapey note. Very, very nice stuff. But yet, the Nikka Days, I'm going to have to give this actually a B-, which is a very, very good grade, by the way. There's not a single thing wrong with this whiskey. It's coherent. It's a smooth drinking, fabulous, non-overly complex Japanese whiskey. In many, many ways, it does remind me of the Harmony without that, with a little touch of peat at the end. Almost perfection, just coherent, just almost perfect in its presentation here. And that for a very cheap price, actually, for Japanese whiskey. So I'm going to actually give it a C+ for value for money, B- for taste, C+ for taste, for value for money. Whoops. My recommendation is Nikka Days might be your gateway to Japanese whiskeys at the moment. Japanese whiskeys is experiencing one of the most difficult times in their history, not because no one wants to buy it, but exactly the opposite. Everyone wants to buy it, and they just don't have enough aged stock. And so what they did is they created new expressions, Nikka Days, so that even those of us without spending hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of euros or dollars on age statement Japanese whiskeys can still enjoy this. And this is actually something very, very nice. I would highly recommend this if you've never tried Japanese whiskey. If you're coming from the Scotch world, this is exactly maybe your entrance point. If you're coming from the bourbon world, the Cheetah might actually be more your point, where you go, oh, look at that, I like that. Oh, wow, it sounds almost familiar. Wow, very nice. Both of these are excellent, excellent whiskeys for the value for money that you're getting from Japan. As I said, the Hibiki, it's almost doubled in price within 12 months. If you want to go for Yamazaki, you're going to pay through the nose, and everything else is out there. It's just amazingly expensive at the moment. But one day, maybe in the next 6 to 8 years, this bourbon boom, Japan will actually finally catch up with the production and with the storage and also with the sales of their whiskey, so that not even just China, but also Europe as well as North America might get some of their great products. In Japan at the moment, you cannot find whiskey from Japan with an age statement on it. They are so selfless, so not egoistic, unselfish, that they've actually sold to the foreigners, to the foreign markets, US, Europe, and so on, North America, all of their aged whiskeys. And so the Japanese that want aged whiskeys either go on business trips abroad, bring it back, or have to buy on auction sites for very, very expensive prices at secondary market prices as well, which is, as you know from bourbon, astronomically expensive. So if you want a good entrance whiskey for Japanese whiskey, Nikka days, if you're from the bourbon, team bourbon, as they say by the whiskey tribe, go for the Cheetah. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others about this crazy American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And I look forward to your comments. My question of the day is, what is your favorite Japanese whiskey? Is it a Hibiki Harmony? Is it a Yamazaki 12-year-old? Is it the Cheetah? Is it some Hakucha? Is it a Chichibu? Is it something else that you've liked and tried? And the Nikka coffee stills or whatever else? Please just write it down. And if you haven't tried any Japanese whiskeys, just write down, haven't tried Japanese whiskey yet. And that would help as well. I interact with all my comments, and it'll be very, very nice to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Bye-bye.